What is going on, Knicks Nation? How are you doing on this Sunday evening on October 26th? Whoa, getting my days wrong. Your New York Knicks, they lose to the Miami Heat by a final score of 115 to 107. I'm here joined by Chris. Normally we do live streams every single Sunday talking about the Knicks. Knicks happened to play tonight, so we're going to talk about the game and get it popping. Appreciate you guys in the chat as always. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Chris, uh, this one sucked, man.
Yeah. Yeah, this one was terrible. I was looking forward obviously to a Knicks victory over the Miami Heat, who always seem to be a thorn on our sides, but
Yeah.
from the gate, man, I just thought the defensive energy just wasn't there the way we saw it in games 1 and 2 for the New York Knicks, and that's pretty much how it played out for the remainder of this game. But how you doing tonight, Amp?
I really wanted this Knicks team to start 3-0. Look, I don't think they've started 3-0 since, 2012, if I'm not
Yep,
mistaken. Look,
12-13.
Jalen Brunson tonight was awesome. And, really to start this basketball game, the Heat had no answer for Jalen Brunson at all. Then he goes to the locker room briefly in the third quarter. Then comes back on the bench. You see him coming back on the bench in the fourth quarter. And in that third quarter, I think they lost the game in the final 6 minutes in that third quarter. That's where it really started to get away from them. And look, they came back late in this game, and they made it a game down the stretch to cut it to 7. They just needed and then Andrew Wiggins hits the 3, right? But I thought the foul trouble in that third quarter from Karl Anthony Towns, 2 fouls in the second quarter, 2 fouls in the third quarter. Mike Brown was, I think he made a mistake not going with Jordan Clarkson in that third quarter to kind of like they needed someone to create offense for them, and it just wasn't happening with no Jalen Brunson and Cat on the floor, and obviously they were missing Deuce, and we could point to the threes that they missed as well. I mean, 15 of 54. I know you were texting me during the game about your thoughts about it, but
Yeah.
yeah, Norman Powell, he's a good player. I see you guys in the chat. Norman Powell killed us all evening. Yeah, it just, I didn't like the way things unfolded. Um,
Yeah.
like you said, defensive intensity wasn't there. Like it's right. So
Yeah, we didn't see that swarming defense we saw in the first two games from the Knicks. Obviously the threes were not going down at all unless your name was Jalen Brunson or Mikal Bridges.
yeah,
So that was tough. I mean, Cat got it going late, but it was way too late for it. And yeah, man, I mean, are you surprised that Mikal or OG could not stop Norman Powell?
am I surprised about it? No, not really. And look, Powell, he's not like he's a good player. I mean, he had a great season for the Clippers last year, and they pretty much got him for free. Miami, 12 of 12 from the free throw line from Norman
Yeah.
Powell, by the way. And I wasn't surprised. I just like OG to start this game was awesome in terms of hitting his threes, right? I mean, 4 of 12, and then he got cold. Cat was just 18 boards, 15 rebounds, but defensively, just kind of a soft game out of him. Huck Porty looked terrible tonight, to say the least. They started with Huck Porty tonight, no Deuce McBride, right?
Yeah.
Mikal was efficient as hell and 20 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. I mean, Brunson was awesome. I mean, they couldn't stop him, right? Jalen Brunson, Mikal were awesome. Uh, I just think that they didn't really get anything else from anybody. Shamit 0-4, right? Kolek
Yeah.
had a nice stretch there when he came in the second, but I mean, they didn't really do much. Josh Hart, 0-2 from 3, so I don't think he's hit a 3 yet this year since he's been back. It's only been 2 games, but Clarkston, 2 of 11 from the field, Chris. And I really thought they should have went with him in that third quarter to close it out, but it seems like they're not going with him in the first quarters of these halves. And I mean, I don't really want to talk about him tonight, Chris, but Gershon Yabusele has to be talked about, right?
Yeah.
Gershon Yabusele has looked like hot garbage for the New
He
York
does
Knicks over his
not
first 3 games, man.
he does not look comfortable out there at all. At
Nope.
all. I mean, the shot, Clyde said it many times during the broadcast. He was like, he's aiming his shot, he's thinking too much. Like, he could tell. I mean, if Clyde's saying it, that's what it is, right? I mean, it looks rough out there for Gershon. I'm not even gonna lie.
Missing layups, missing open threes. Like, we brought you in here to hit your threes, right? We brought him in here. He's open too.
Yeah. Yep.
He's open. Gershon is open, and he's just clank, short, clank. You wouldn't think that his play overseas this summer would have got him in shape, right, for the season. No, he looks like a tank out there. I mean, I had the Heat broadcast on, and they called him, he's built like a condo building. That's what they said about Gershon Yabusele. And him and, like, I don't know, like, missing point-blank layups, looks out of shape and just off pace. 38% three-point shooter last year, but a lot of fans were questioning it because it hasn't been, like, over multiple years. It was just, like, 1 year in a bad situation in Philly.
Yeah.
And I don't know, there was a sequence there in the third where he missed a three short, got his rebound, then was falling out of bounds, and he turned the ball over, and that's when the Heat scored, and Mike Brown caught a timeout and yanked him.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I tweeted on the X account, I said, it's only 3 games, it's only 3 games, it's only 3 games, but he is clearly he's not up to speed yet. He just looks lost, and when you're looking lost and you're looking out of shape and you're not hitting your open threes, you are the target. It's New York, man. It's not Philly, right? I mean, people are already saying he's trash, get him off my team, which is crazy. But
yeah,
look, he's played bad.
Yeah. Yeah, it was overall the game was just messy.
Yeah.
Again, only JB and Mikal had it going. I kind of wish Mikal took more of the offensive load and just try to get his shot off more, because it was clear he had it going.
Yeah.
But, we saw a lot of what we were used to from Cat, getting into foul trouble, getting, sat on the bench because he just can't stop making these dumb fouls.
That hurt him in that third. It did.
Yeah, absolutely.
When Brunson went out with the little injury to the locker room, and they didn't have Cat or Brunson on the court. OG was holding his own. He hit a 3, and the Knicks were keeping it in there. But towards the end of that third quarter, I think that's when the wheels fell off. And sorry I cut you off though. But.
No, yeah, that's pretty much it. It was literally live by the 3, die by the 3, and tonight we died by the 3. I mean, the Heat, got hot when they needed to, and the Knicks made a little run late, which credit to them, they still battled, but you would have liked to see that intensity, at least from the second half of the game on, not wait till the last 2-3 minutes of the game to turn it up.
15 of 54 from 3, 27%. And the Knicks have actually been over the first couple of games 36, 37, 38%. So here you go. I mean, you're going to have a cold spell. And look at the bench, Chris. Landry Shamet, 0-4. Josh Hart, 0-2. Clarkson, 0-4. Yabusele, 0-4. Kolek hit at the 3, 1-4. So add all that up. 4, 8, 12, 16, 18. 1 of 18 from 3. Off the bench, if I just did my math a little correctly. But just bad game from Yabusele, and they just couldn't, like, the Huck Porty starting tonight didn't work for them. They really missed Deuce McBride. I see El Figgy in the chat says we really missed Deuce McBride tonight. Deuce McBride was out for personal reasons for the New York Knicks. Hope all is well with Deuce. Appreciate you guys in the chat. Once again, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Chris and I are just getting started. The New York Knicks lose 107-115 to the Miami Heat. They fall to 2-1 on the season. Why don't you say, Chris? Why don't we get to some of these comments, right?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Loud and clear. What's going on? Third game of the season. Not worried.
Yeah.
Not worried. Yeah. No one. Yeah, we're not worried. Just pointed some things out tonight that we didn't like to see. Joel says, looked like the Knicks were about to get blown out. The Knicks never had control over the game. They never had a 7+ point lead. Tony says, positive energy, y'all. Today lost is tomorrow win. One thing we can learn today is rotations, BS, certain matchups will come along. What's going on, Tony? Isaiah, what's going on, Isaiah? Appreciate the members in here. El Figgy says Tyler Kolek couldn't handle the defense in the third quarter. Yep, they were attacking Tyler Kolek. Eddie says Clarkson must regain his confidence. Mac G says Towns was way off today.
Yeah.
Yeah. El Figgy says we need Deuce more than you think. Yeah. Deuce was missed tonight, Chris.
Yeah. I felt like he definitely would have gave Norman Powell more fits. Obviously being a little bit smaller, a little bit quicker than Mikal and OG. I feel like the Knicks really missed Deuce McBride. And like El Figgy says, like that's a little bit scary, because you'd think a guy like Mikal and OG will be able to disrupt a Norman Powell. Especially when at times it was just Norman Powell and the bench guys, or Bam out there, and I mean, I was kind of flustered, just like, why can't they stop this guy? To the tune of what, 29?
The thing about the annoying part about him, Chris, is he does that annoying like coming off the picks, coming off the curl, where he just when the defender's reaching in, he goes up for the shot and it's a foul. I mean, that's how he got to the free throw line 12 times, right? It's annoying. But it's effective. I'm not complaining about it, but it's annoying. He's a good player, and I'm sure they had him circled in the locker room on the board, and he gives the Heat a spark. And coming into the season, Chris, I pointed the Heat as one of the pain in the ass teams the Knicks have to go through.
Yeah.
And look, it's 3 games. We're missing Mitch and Deuce. I think Mitch would have been a huge factor tonight regarding their bigs, defending their bigs, but. It's the name of the game. But yes, Norman Powell. I mean, what did he finish with? 29, right? 29, 7, hit all of his free throws, man. 3 of 6 from 3. Yeah, he killed him.
I mean, he was drawing fouls left and right. It didn't matter who was on him.
It was their bench, really. I mean, even in the first half, the Heat's bench provided them a massive spark. And that was the difference in this game, was the bench. I mean, their bench outplayed us tonight. If you look at their bench, I mean, Jaquez 17, Fontecchio 14, right? Nikola Jokic 6, hit a big 3. Drew Smith 6. Their bench thoroughly outplayed the New York Knicks bench, and our bench couldn't hit the side of the backboard, to say the least. And in that third quarter, I don't know if you thought this, Chris, but towards the end of that third quarter. Felt like I was watching a pickup game at LA Fitness, where there was just no offensive plan whatsoever for the New York Knicks in that third quarter. So, you agree? Oh, okay. Chris is a little bit frozen right now. But yeah, appreciate you guys in the chat. But yeah, guys, there was no offensive plan in that third quarter regarding the New York Knicks. And here we are. We're 2-1 on the season. Not concerned. Not really concerned about it. But the main talking point is Guerschon Yabusele. What is he going to be for this Knicks team off the bench? What is he going to be for this Knicks team off the bench? Because the New York Knicks thought they were getting a big man that can stretch the floor, a big man that can shoot. And over these first 3 games, and even in the preseason, it just hasn't looked the part for Guerschon Yabusele, right? Just hasn't looked the part. And I'm going to give him time, because I said this after game 1. It's only 3 games. I'm going to give him time. I'm not going to sit here and get crazy, right? But there are going to be, the masses are going to be knocking out the door being like, yo, this guy needs to improve now. Let me get Chris back in here. Chris, you there? There we go.
I am here.
There we go. Froze again. I was just talking about Guerschon Yabusele, Chris. It's just 3 games. Not going to get crazy. but you got to be better. When I see you missing point blank layups and like just looking lost out there, I'm going to point that out, man. I'm sure there's going to be Knicks fans who go crazy and get loud and be like, this guy's this bum. This guy sucks. I'm not going to say that, man.
Yeah, I mean, look, he has to be better. You know, I mean, it's to the point where I saw him on some rebound attempts, and it looked like he's not even getting any lift. Like there's no chance he's going to get a board. Yeah, I mean, I hate to say it, but you know, I thought maybe okay, he's heavy, maybe put on some muscle, whatever. It's not looking that way. You know, it's not looking like, you know, he's moving out there. He's just, you know, on top of just not being comfortable out there, it seems like his conditioning is not there, which is kind of wild because, you know, he had these posted videos of him working in the offseason and showing himself training, and then to show up heavier than you were the prior season is kind of crazy, man. But yeah, we're gonna need him, man. You know, we were thinking the addition of Gershon and Clarkson was gonna boost this bench. And look, again, I know it's only game 3. I'm not trying to, you know, go too crazy here, but we got to see more from Gershon, man.
Man, now I'm seeing all the Tom Thibodeau backers come out now. I miss Thibs. This is what you guys are calling an upgrade over Thibs, and great coach. Wow. Oh my God, 11 from 40, just 4 from 3.
Well,
I mean,
we knew it was coming. We knew it was
15 of 44, but yeah. Mac G says our transition defense needs to be better. Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Tony says Giannis is going for 80 on Tuesday. Look, oh man, 54 of three attempts, Chris. What do you coming into the season? Mike Brown said he wants to attempt 40 to, you know, upwards of 40 attempts.
Yeah.
2 games, Knicks have been, you know, pretty good, 36, 37%. But this is sometimes you're going to have cold spells like this, and you're going to have fans question, like, you know, maybe there's too many threes. I think Landry Shamet had a 3 coming on a fast break, pulled up for a 3, missed it, right?
Yeah, so it was a 1-on-1 fast break, and he pulled up from 3. I wanted him to attack at that point.
Yeah. I don't, like, it's threes like that. That's a bad 3. I don't mind them taking this amount of attempts, and I would say like 70% of their threes were good shots. They were just missing. And Brunson was awesome. Mikal was awesome. OG was awesome, and then he got cold. But it's the bad threes where it's like, okay, you're becoming too three-pointer happy, and we need to, we need to take a step back and, run an offense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt that way with Cat. I mean, he was just 3 after 3 after 3 after 3. I think at one point he was 0 for 6, something like that.
Yeah.
And it was just like, all right, Towns, you're a 7-footer. Get in that paint. Do something else, attack. Don't just settle for these threes. But it seemed like he wasn't trying to get, I hate to say it, but this was one of those games where everybody who says Cat is soft, this gives them ammo, right? He didn't seem like he wanted to go and just attack the paint. He settled for threes. But look, again, Mike Brown's offense, obviously they want to get up threes, and they've been averaging, I think, 42 threes over the first 2 games, and obviously tonight 54. But yeah, I mean, look, you're gonna get these games and it's gonna be either live by the 3 and you're gonna be blowing teams out, or you're gonna have games like tonight where it's gonna look terrible because the teams are gonna run on you off those missed threes.
Exactly. Castro, what's going on? Appreciate you guys in the chat. Once again, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, all the good stuff. Appreciate the support as always. Your New York Knicks fall to the Miami Heat 107-115 down in Miami. Shout out to all the Knicks fans that were in MSG South. And unfortunately, the New York Knicks couldn't come through with a victory out there in Miami, which stinks. Made a little run in the fourth quarter. But it just all game long, it just wasn't, it wasn't going their way. Like, they never sustain momentum. And anytime they would tie the game or take the lead a little bit, that he would answer. He did a good job, combating the New York Knicks runs tonight. And look, the Heat are a great team. I see a lot of people in the chat saying Cat was, settling from threes. Yeah, I mean, when you got Bam Adebayo in the paint, he was settling a lot tonight. And he was playing a little bit too soft for my liking. And the foul trouble, 2 dumb fouls in the second quarter. And in the third quarter, dumb fouls. And then with no JB in the locker room, I think that is when it kind of fell off the rails for this team, because Jalen Brunson, Chris, was absolutely cooking them. They couldn't stop him. He was awesome tonight.
Yeah.
37 points, 6 assists, 4 boards, 5-11 from 3, 14-26 from the field, A-plus performance from your captain. But, when he was off the floor, I saw a lot of people like, get Jalen Brunson back in this basketball game. It was like in the beginning of the fourth. And he was like on the bench. Everyone was like, get him back in the game.
I was one of them. Because you could feel it. The way that game was going. It was like, we clearly need a scoring punch here, and the only one that's going to give it is either Mikal and Jalen Brunson. And of course, again, I felt like JB, I wish he would have came in a bit sooner, but like you mentioned, he did go back to the locker room, did come back in and did his thing, but just wasn't enough, man. Just wasn't enough. As much as I wanted this win tonight, the Miami Heat took it.
Yeah, look, and how many turnovers did the New York Knicks finish tonight? They had 15 turnovers for the Knicks. To the Miami Heat, 16 turnovers. And the Heat, I think they had somebody said in the 20 points off turnovers. Transition defense needs to clean up a little bit. Heat are long and big, and look, when you're that cold from 3 on the Knicks side, it's a recipe for failure, honestly. And look, I'm not gonna overreact over one game, but I mean, you don't want to see these trends continue. The trend has been Yabusele has been bad. That's been the trend over these first 3 games, right? And that's what we want to watch over like a 5 to 10 game sample size. Yabusele has been bad, and if he doesn't, you got to turn it around. I mean, he's just been really bad from 3, even in the preseason, really bad from 3, and quite frankly, Chris, it could just be he's out of shape, man. I mean, he's out of shape. He I hate to call people out like this, but he is what he is, and the New York Knicks brought him in here to be an upgrade over Precious Achiuwa, right? But if he's bricking like a Precious Achiuwa, then is he really stretching the floor, for you? Again, 3 games. Yeah. But come on now. We got to see something.
Yeah, he has to show us something, I mean, it's legit been almost nothing out there for Yabu. I mean, there was times where, he was more so looking to pass the ball than to be aggressive and take a shot, especially off of the flares that these guys would run. I mean, I really hope he comes around, man, because I was really hyped for Gershon joining this team, especially with how he shot the ball last year with the Philadelphia 76ers. And I think it's just going to take him some time, man. And hopefully his conditioning gets better because, I don't know, maybe he didn't expect to be running up and down the court, with Mike Brown's offense or something, but maybe the workout regimen he had was not in tune with what the Knicks wanted. Who knows?
Somebody said in the chat those videos were for Instagram. That was it. Wayne says, "How about some outside ball instead of straight chuck up shots?" Yeah, no plan. Especially in that third quarter, fourth quarter, it just looked like you were watching a pickup game at LA Fitness or at Rucker Park. It just looked like it was just Cat 3, and it just couldn't sustain a rhythm there when Brunson was out and Cat due to the foul trouble, and he went on their little run, and again, Knicks came back in the fourth. No Brunson to start the fourth. No Clarkson in that third. I thought that was a little bit of a mistake, because I think even though Clarkson, look 2 of 11 from tonight, had a nice and 1, 0 of 4 from 3. Look, he's going to be inefficient, but I think the Knicks really missed Deuce McBride, because one thing Deuce has been doing is hitting his threes over these first couple of games, right? And
Yeah.
when he's open, he's been hitting it, right? Shaman as well, over 4. So, I mean, over 12 from Yabusele, Clarkson, and Shaman off the bench. I
Yeah.
mean, it's, it's
It's bad. It's
when you
bad.
if you miss shots, you're gonna lose the game, Chris.
Yeah.
You know, and Hart, we know he has a bad finger, right? So
Yeah.
right now, the lineup with Yabu and Hart was a lineup with Yabu, Hart. I forgot who. I think it was Kolek. Really wasn't working for them. And look, Mike Brown's
Yeah.
gonna try to get Yabu going, but you gotta get in shape, man. Is that the name of the game with Yabu? Just has to lose weight. He's not in shape.
Yeah. I don't
I don't.
know. I don't know, man. I look again. It's only game 3, and hopefully it's just a matter of him learning where to get his shots off in the offense, when to be aggressive. I hope it's something like that, and not so much his weight.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, look, when like you mentioned, Kolek was out there with Hart, Yabusele. I think who else? Want to say Shamit was out there as well.
Yeah.
But look, it didn't look good. It didn't look good out there. Again, Hart taking some of these shots, he's not even close, and you
Yeah.
can
He's not. His
tell.
fingers bothering him.
Yeah, that finger with the splint that he has, it's definitely affecting his shot. Like, he's not even close on these shots. And he's not really, you saw it a little bit once he made one I think he had a mid-range shot that he made, and then he started attacking. I think it was a
Hmm.
turnover after that, but he got a little more aggressive, which you like to see. But he's not getting those. He's not driving into the paint yet, and you could tell it's still bothering him. He's still trying to figure it out as well. Obviously, he wasn't there for the first game, but it's still early. It's still
Yeah.
early,
So
man.
3 games.
It's just I didn't
Three
particularly like
games.
that rotation though, having Hart, Yabu, Shamit, and Kolek out there.
Michael says Yabusele makes a Chewy look like Giannis.
Damn.
El Figgy says don't do Precious like that. Precious would at least give us more defense and efficiency in the paint with dunks. Yeah, look, Yabu was
Yep.
Yabu essentially replaced the Precious role. I know Precious didn't really played in spurts last year for the New York Knicks, but he's 38, 39% 3-point shooter last year, and you know we need to see that eventually. It needs to come around, and I think it will. Um, Look, new team, new environment. Look, I'm gonna give it at least like 20 games, 25 games, Chris, before we can really judge these guys. The bench, like Clarkson, he's gonna have games where he's gonna be awesome. He's gonna have games where he's gonna be Clarkson, like
Yeah. Yeah.
and Yabu. I mean, he's gonna have games where he's gonna shoot 4 or 5 from 3 off the bench, and you'll be like, oh damn, like that's why we signed Yabusele. And it just hasn't happened yet. And it's 3 games, but I mean, it's their first loss. Some adversity is good, right? And we're on to Milwaukee facing a Giannis team, and we'll see what they do in Milwaukee.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, these are the types of games me personally, I like to see, right? Close games, back and forth. See what you're made of,
Yeah,
when crunch time hits. And we saw a lot of bad, but in those closing, 2 minutes, we saw a lot of good. We saw that
yeah,
the resiliency is there with this team.
yep.
In the
There we
event
go.
we get down, we can battle back. Obviously, JB, our captain, is going to put us on his back. But even Towns woke up, started hitting some shots.
Yep,
Overall, the intensity came up.
picked up.
So I did like that. Those are my takeaways, positive takeaways from this game, is that resiliency is still there. It's not like we were going to win 82 straight. Would have been nice, but it's not going to happen. And yeah, those are my positive takeaways. I mean, what positives can you take away from this game?
Brunson, awesome. Mikal, awesome. OG, I thought was awesome. Just got cold at times. I even like what I saw from Kolek and the small spurts that he played in. Hart is still a menace. There was an offensive rebound that he grabbed, which is just awesome. Clarkson got to the free throw line. They battled back. They were just like, if Andrew Wiggins didn't hit that three, then we're like, oh, well, then the Knicks have the ball. I think plenty of time left. I think they were down 7, and they could have cut it to 4 with like a minute 30 left. And you're like, okay, a game where, things kind of went off the rails a little bit in that third into the fourth, you're right back in the game. They didn't panic. I'm still liking Mike Brown's substitution patterns. I think he's trying to keep guys fresh. You're seeing him sub Karl Anthony Towns in and out in the first quarter, and maybe that could help him defensively with, his legs. Maybe give him a breather for 2 minutes and sub him back in there. Maybe that'll help his laziness on defense, and I'm seeing a lot of that. And I'm liking the substitution patterns from Mike Brown. Maybe wanted to see Clarkson in the third quarter, but I just thought the Brunson, I don't even know if he went back to the locker room or not, if it wasn't confirmed, but he definitely went back into the tunnel, came back into the bench. It was midway through the third quarter, and then he didn't come back until, I think, 9 minutes in the fourth quarter. So he sat for, I would say, 7 straight minutes of game action, something like that. Still finished with 35 minutes. So there are positives to point at, and the first road game for the New York Knicks, and you can kind of chalk this up to your bench just was ice cold, right? I mean, Shamet has been awesome. Didn't hit a shot. Shamet, Clarkson, and Yabu but I think people are pointing at Yabusele's poor, play now, and we'll see. Like 10, 15 games, we'll see. So it's game 3. It's not game 79. There's going to be learning curves, and I'm not worried one bit. If anything, I was just watching Jalen Brunson. Masterpiece, man. Masterpiece. Yeah. He was hitting 3. He was pulling up from 3. He was just cooking. I mean, he got what's his name in a foul trouble in the first quarter. Davion Mitchell, we got him in a foul trouble. They can't guard him, right? And I think this is one of those games where you missed the Mitch, and you missed the Deuce, and I think Deuce would have helped out a lot in this game, but no excuses, right? So, we move on, right? We move on.
Yeah. You know? It stings though. It stings because it's the Heat. It's the Heat, and obviously, I know. Look, they're a good team. They're coached really well, and obviously you saw Spoelstra do his magic. Throwing double teams at guys like Kolek, who probably weren't. I mean, I know he wasn't prepared for that. You know, but look, all in all, sloppy game for the Knicks. A lot of threes went up. A lot of threes didn't go down, unfortunately. But they'll learn from this. And like you said, it's on to the Bucks. And I'm sure we're going to see plenty of headlines and plenty of questions being asked about, Giannis to the Knicks and all that jazz. So, yeah, sucks to
if Giannis puts like 50 and a 10 and 10 on us, people are going to be like, you should have got Giannis, you see, blah, blah, blah. But look, on to the next, guys. On to the next. Appreciate you guys in the chat once again. As always, hit some of your comments. Got a lot of comments to catch up on. El Figgy says our defense isn't good enough to miss that many open shots. Yeah, when you miss that many open shots, 15 of 54, 27%. Didn't even get in the 30%. And you missed 5 free throws tonight, 76% from the free throw line. But, out rebound at the Heat. 16 offensive rebounds for the New York Knicks. Heat shot 31 free throws compared to your 21 free throws tonight for the New York Knicks. Knicks 9 steals, Heat 7. So they were at the free throw line. They were living there, and that kind of slowed things down for them. And Norman Powell just killed us. Yuri says game 3 of 82. Knicks will bounce back Tuesday. Let's go Knicks. Wayne says, let's give Yabo at least 10 games. Yeah, at least 10 games. At least 10 games. OG 413 shooting off night as well. Yeah. He was hot too. I think he started 4 of 6, and then he missed a bunch in a row. So, yeah. It's basketball, Chris.
Yeah, yeah.
Basketball.
It just sucks when a lot of you know, other than two of our players, everybody else just went cold,
And,
ice cold.
and 3 games in, and we really like we haven't been whole. Like, I mean, we haven't even had a full like Mitch starting, Deuce in the lineup. Like that's why you can't really get crazy. Because the lineups just, I mean, again, Mitch is on the road trip with the New York Knicks. We'll see if he plays versus the Bucks. Deuce dealing with personal reasons. Hopefully everything's okay with Deuce. So
Yeah.
look, guys are banged up here and there, and you move on to the next. But yes, we kind of want to dissect. It is a post game on that specific game, right? So Cat was eating the boards tonight. These
Yeah.
BBLs killing y'all, and the thighs don't match. Oh my god, I see BBL Selly.
Nah.
I love New York, man. I love
That
New
ain't
York.
it.
That's not, yeah, that's not it. But he's a big boy, right? And that could be to his benefit too, right? You can't just push him around out there. He is on the floor a lot, losing his footing and whatnot. But I'm not gonna get crazy over him. Max says I don't think we will ever be whole with Mitch. We'll see. Yeah, we will. We'll be whole with Mitch. Tony says, nah, we will beat the Bucks. Let's get them next game. Unc, Dre, what's going on? What's going on, everybody? Appreciate you guys in the chat. Smash the like button, subscribe. Hit the Discord if you want to call in. I see Yuri waiting in the Discord as well. Just hit the Discord post-game call-in show, and then just wait your turn if you want to call into the show. Unc Dre, what's going on? Hope all is well. Thank you guys for the support. Thank you for giving us your time on this Sunday evening. The Knicks fall to the Miami Heat 107-115. Unc says, I'm not worried. Yabu and Clark are not used to the stage quite yet. Neither is mixtape Mike Brown. Yeah. Like I said, Chris, 15, 20 games for them, and we'll see. I don't think Mike Brown, like if Yabusele has 5 more bad games in a row, I don't think Mike Brown will kind of go in another direction, but it's going to take him time. But the threes,
Yeah.
You brought him in here to shoot 38% from 3. You got to hit your open shots,
Yeah. And I think that's the most frustrating part about tonight is that a lot of these shots were good open looks, especially Gershon's, and Clarkson. I almost feel he gets a pass just because everybody knows he's that type of player where either he's hot or he's cold, right? But we're going to need to see a little bit of consistency from Clarkson, especially as games go on. But yeah.
Do you think we will?
I think we will. I think we will. I mean, you saw Mike Brown. I think he was struggling.
Last game was big for Clarkson. He set the energy. Yeah.
And that's what we need. That's what we're looking for, right? Obviously, you get the good and you get the bad. But you saw Mike Brown take him to the side, and he was really talking to him. Giving him some, direction, and you could see Clarkson saying like, "Yeah, my bad, I got it." Like basically saying, "Next time, I got it." So I do like that. Because he did a similar thing with Cat too when Cat was going off the rails over his foul trouble. So that was good to see.
Yeah. Yabusele's need to get it together, man. Positive vibes his way. I think he will get it together, and I think he will ultimately have a big year for us. Again, new environment, new situation, but there are like 3 games in, it hasn't looked good. Knicks just have to clean the turnovers a little bit up, Chris. 4 first quarter turnovers. Towns foul trouble. I mean, it's like beating a dead horse. I mean, it's just we say can it improve? Mike Brown, again, the substitution patterns. He's trying to get him out of the game, like midway through the first, try to bring him back in the game. So he's trying to help him out. But I think it'll be better, hopefully, with Mitch. I hope. And Cat, every time he fouls somebody, it's like he didn't foul him. He's always, I fouled him.
And then you see the replay, and it's like clear as day. Clearly fouled the person. It's like I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt, but Bam does flop a lot. But I was like, nah, man, you fouled him. You fouled.
Michael says Payne Achua is better than Clarkson and Yabusele. I don't think so, Chris.
Nah, I don't believe.
Come on.
I don't believe that. Look, Clarkson is he's gonna be better, and Gershon is too. Gershon's gonna get better. I mean, one thing I know from what I've seen so far about Gershon is he cares. He wanted to be here, and that means a lot. That means a lot, man. He's gonna get that. He's gonna get it going.
I feel weird commenting on like his weight, but I mean, Yabu needs to get on a lean diet. I mean, I need to get on a diet, man. I need to lose like 15 pounds. So I mean, but he's a professional athlete, and I don't know if that's correlating to his bad play. I don't know, because he's always been a big body. He had big games for overseas. So I just will give it some time.
I just think it's a learning curve.
It's a learning curve.
He's played with the 76ers, knew that system. Now he's coming into a whole new system, with a whole new group of guys. It's not easy, Same with Clarkson.
Yeah. Chris says Diawara or Daddy A over Yabusele at this point. Not there, Chris. Not there yet, Chris. 20 games, 25 games. I would give it 15, 20 games, and then we'll reevaluate from there.
Yeah.
Mike Brown, when asked questions from the media, he speaks facts, and I appreciate that as a fan, agree. I love Mike Brown's, thoughts, and he's no BS, Chris. He's very thoughtful, and he expresses himself very well. He's a great speaker, and I appreciate that as a fan. Different from Tom Thibodeau for sure. Unk says our core five will hold it down until the bench catches up. We will be fine, but the bench needs to hit these shots. No excuses. This is an opportunity. Let's go. We'll be fine, guys. Game 3 out of 82. Michael says Yabusele was 265 last media day. He was 283 this year. Yeah. At least to lose some pounds. Yeah. Yes, Chris. 15 to 20 games, It's 82 game season, right? I don't want to give it, Chris, it'll be crazy if the Knicks pull the plug on Yabusele after 5 games. And like, oh, this is not working. It's not going to happen,
No.
He was too good of a shooter last year.
Every game is different, too.
Yeah.
Every game is different. So you got to give him a chance, You're not just going to get this guy and then, who had a productive season last year and just give up after 5-6 games. That's just dumb.
But yeah, to kind of recap a little bit, once again, appreciate you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel. Look, Knicks open up this game. Jalen Brunson was absolutely incredible. Brunson got his defender in foul trouble, and back and forth affair, but just couldn't sustain their rhythm in this basketball game. Then, the foul trouble of Karl Anthony Towns in that second quarter. Then leading into the third quarter, Norman Powell was getting to the free throw line a lot. He got tremendous contributions from their bench in the second quarter, especially. Heat are a sneaky deep team, and they're not even whole yet as well. So Jaime Jaquez was awesome for them tonight. The Heat's bench is really, really good, and it killed this Knicks team, especially in that second quarter. Then there, third quarter, Brunson was cooking again, and then he kind of went out. Then Towns foul trouble, and it just one of those games, Chris. It was just back and forth. Fourth quarter comes around, Knicks chip away. Heat go up by as much as, what are they, up as 14, right, if I'm not mistaken? And the Knicks came back from that to cut it to 7, if I'm not mistaken. 18 was their largest lead. 18. And the Knicks' largest lead was 6 in this basketball game. 24 fouls from the Knicks. 31 fast break points compared to the Knicks' 10. And last game, that was flipped. So every game is different, man. But you really don't know trends yet. Like, that's why I say 10, 15, 20 games. And that's when you can see trends. Like, okay, the Knicks are a bad transition defense team. The Knicks are a good transition defense team. But tonight, bad. Bad from 3. Right? And it was a concern with some fans when the Knicks would put up 40, 50 threes that they weren't that much of a good shooting team to do that. First couple of games they were 38. I would live 36, 37, 38%. I live with that. Tonight, not so much. So
Yeah.
one of those games.
Yeah, just one of those games, unfortunately.
One of those games. All right, let's get to Yuri in the Discord. You guys call into the show. Yuri in the Discord, Wade and Chris. You think Yuri's going to be upset? Why is this covering your face, my bad? Damn. Hit the Discord, guys. We got the live scores. We got the post-game call-in, the Knicks chat. Yuri bringing some good information, giving away some gear. Yuri.
Hello.
How are you?
What's up?
What's going on?
Good. Hello to you and Chris.
What's going on?
How's everyone doing?
Going on?
Good. Tough loss. Game 3 of 82. Not overreacting. Miami Heat, sneaky team. They're always a sleeper come regular season, right? Regular season don't matter to me. You're 2-1 still.
Yeah.
You're glad you won those 2 games because it really gave you momentum, right? But losing these kind of games kind of takes away that momentum. But, we've seen how resilient this team is compared to last year to this year when they put up that fight in the fourth quarter. So I'm expecting them to bounce back on Tuesday when they go to Milwaukee.
One of those games where he missed a bunch of threes, right? And
missed a bunch of threes.
Not concerned with Yabu on the bench?
No, I'm not. Okay. I'm not going to overreact. I'm not going to overreact to Yabu.
All right.
New role, new uniform, trying to understand, the Knicks pressure that he's been given upon.
Mm-hmm.
And I really am not going to be concerned about his weight because we haven't seen a power forward like Yabu that weighs 283 pounds. He's a big boy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And he's trying to figure out his role. Yeah. But I kind of am concerned about, what is his role in this Mike Brown system being 283? That's what concerns me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And we saw from Mike Brown, he's holding the players accountable in the media. He basically said, hey, I didn't like the 3 possessions that we got. I didn't like the spray threes. We only generated 15 or 20. He definitely didn't like the defense today as well. He even called out a few plays as well. So people look out for that if you see it. As well. So we even saw him pull Cat away, let him talk, right? And I like that, despite it. Listen, I'm going to blame the players more than the coach this year, since this is Mike Brown's first year. So that's how I'm viewing it.
A lot of pressure on Mike Brown. Interesting way to
say it.
A
lot of pressure on Mike Brown. Yeah. I'm not going to overreact to Mike Brown's coaching decisions. I like his substitutions. I like his rotations.
I like it too. I think it's awesome.
I like that he's trying to keep the players fresh, but
can't win them
when
all,
you
man.
have a lead, you can't win them all. When you have a Miami, right? When you have a team like Miami and you have a big lead like that in the 12th, you got to put Jalen Brunson in the fourth quarter.
They're starting to get away from them a little bit. I thought Brunson was sitting too long there in that fourth. But yeah.
That's what worries me. I get you want to rest Brunson. That was the problem I had with Tom Thibodeau, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you're Mike Brown, you should have put him in at least the fourth quarter just to give you a leeway. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Unfortunate. Can't win them all again. Got Milwaukee. Bounce back, get back on a winning column.
That's it. Yep. That's it, Yuri. Appreciate it.
And another thing is that this is game 3. There's going to be times when the turnovers are basically all over the place.
Yeah.
That's another thing too.
Yeah. Look, it's the bench is I would say 80% new, especially with the Kolek being in there, and he's been awesome. And look, Deuce has missed tonight, but he's been awesome. Mitch hasn't even played yet, so they're 2-1. It was a crappy game. You move on to the Bucks. Take the good, leave the bad, learn from the bad. And Yabusele, look, they're 283. Yeah, I mean you're talking about playing fast. Sometimes he could be trailers on these fast breaks, and if he's going to be clanking, doesn't really have any lift out there as well. I mean, we'll see. I mean, guys lose weight all the time in this season. I expect him to lose at least 10 pounds in the next month.
Yeah, same.
So, not concerned.
I'm not concerned either.
Yeah. Appreciate the call, Yuri.
Of course.
All right, we got El Figgy up next. El Figgy's first time calling in to the Knicks Nation postgame show this year. El Figgy, what's going on? How are you?
What's going on, fam? What's going on, Aunt?
What's going on?
Guys? Oh man, I didn't like this tonight, and I don't expect anyone liked it, and I'm not really taking it on the chin like a lot of people in the chat are suggesting. I'm gonna tell you why I didn't like this. Now, first up, I just want to send some prayers up for Cam Scatterboo. If anybody saw the Giants game today, that looked pretty bad. His ankle.
Yeah,
was facing in the wrong direction.
Praise up to Cam Scatterboo, who's at the Knicks game, the other game too, and it sucks, man. It sucks.
Yeah, he's a tough kid. Seems to have a lot of New York heart in him, and I like him. So just prayers up for him first. But some things to take away from this game. I mean, Deuce is looking more and more important this year for our bench. Now that Josh Hart, Josh's hand is banged up. I don't know if his back is still bothering him. The other day, even though he had all those rebounds and he looked good, he was still grabbing his lower back. So I don't know what that means for Josh coming off the bench. So Deuce is going to be very important for us this year. And he wasn't there tonight. Thankfully, it wasn't due to injury or anything else. But that's scary. To me, that's a little scary as well, because Deuce last season, he was out a couple of weeks here and there for a groin injury. I think he had a hamstring strain one day. So, he's got to stay healthy for us. I think he would have put the clamps on Powell, I think, a little bit better for us than Mikhail did.
Yeah, one of our best point of attack defenders, and Deuce has been awesome these first couple of games, and you missed him. And if anything, it just shows you how valuable he is, right, to this team.
Absolutely. He's been hitting those timely threes for us.
Very timely threes. Yep.
Absolutely. When we've kind of been out in the desert, dry spells, these slumps, offensive slumps we've been in, Deuce has been hitting some timely threes. So we missed that tonight, and we saw the effect of the no Deuce on the court, and I don't like that. I'm not going to sit here and say, it's game 3. I'll be honest with you. I would have loved to have gone on a 15-0 run like the Cavs did last year. That's me. That's my own Knick fandom fantasy mind. I mean, other teams, OKC last year, they had some, they had to fit in some new guys. They had Isaiah Hartenstein that they had to figure out what to do with him, and they didn't skip a beat, man. They were dominant the whole, first part of their season. So I'm not really buying into the idea that, we have all these new players. A lot of teams have a lot of new players they got to fit in. The Pacers look good. They have, they're missing guys, and they lost some guys, and they got some new guys.
Yeah.
I don't want to fall into that lazy mentality of, we're still growing, we got growing pains, but I'm not happy losing to a Heat team without Tyler Hero. That doesn't bode well with me. I think teams like this, we should really, if we're really the Knicks team that everyone says we are, we're going to be, the beast in the East. I want to put these type of teams away. So I'm not very happy tonight. But, for anybody who's saying they miss Thibs, look, guys, we had to move on from Tom Thibodeau. We had to move on from him.
They came out tonight. They were waiting, pouncing, waiting. You saw them. So I missed TT67. I miss them. They were waiting. They were waiting for that.
I know. God bless the Knicks fan base. I love you guys. That's very, very typical us. Don't worry, I'm there too. I'm not holier than thou.
Yeah.
But I think after last season, guys, we had to move on from Thibs. It was obvious. It's glaring us in the face. Now, here's the thing, though. I'm not completely sold that Mike Brown was the right move to go. And I'm not going to sit here. To me, the real test, and so far, so good. I'll say he's doing a lot of the things that I wish Thibs had done. He's making moves that I agree with. But I feel like the real test, in fairness to him, is how we look in the playoffs. That's going to be the real litmus.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you have, look, I've seen it around. You already have people just say, take me to the playoffs, man. Get me to the playoffs and let's see what happens. And I kind of want to enjoy these things and go through the pains and go through the ups, but I don't like that thinking. But I want to see it play out, But yeah, there's a ton of pressure on Mike Brown, El Figgy.
100%. And there should be, by the way, because he's been handed, a beautiful product in this New York Knicks roster. I think Leon Rose has assembled a beautiful roster for him.
Yep.
I think he's got all the talent he needs to make a run for it. And I think it's up to him whether or not he fumbles this. I mean, I'm looking at him right now and I'm wondering to myself, would we have gone further? Maybe not last year, but 2 seasons ago when we had a bench like we had Dante DiVincenzo, we had Boyan Bogdanovic, we had, when Mitchell Robinson was starting, we had Isaiah Hartenstein off the bench. Would we have gone further
Yeah, you never
and
know.
possibly even gone all the way with a Mike Brown type coach a couple of years ago? And, everybody was all hot for Johnny Bryant. And I know Sam Cassell was an idea that people had in their heads at one point, but so far, I have to say, I like Mike Brown. I like the amount of guys he's using off the road. I like a 10 to 11-man rotation.
Yeah.
I think, again, he's trying to figure out who to put on the floor at what point. I think he's really trying to work with Yabusele, man. He's not giving up on him. And so, are we trying to fit a square peg into a round hole? We'll see. Time will tell.
Yeah, time will tell. Appreciate the call out, Figgy. As always, thank you for becoming a member as well. Really appreciate the support.
Absolutely. Love the community you built, Ant.
Let's go.
Peace, guys. Yep.
Peace. Have a good night. Yeah, look, that's the question Leon Rose was probably thinking about when they fired Tom Thibodeau. Would someone else have gotten this Knicks team farther? That's why Thibs is gone. I think they said to themselves, yeah, someone probably would have got us to the NBA Finals last year. Someone else. And that's why Thibs is gone. Otherwise, they wouldn't have fired him. And look, Pacers are 0-2. Boston's 0-3. Atlanta and Orlando are 1-2. So if we go to the updated standings, Chris, let me just get rid of this call-in. Let's go to the updated, the very early, super duper early updated NBA standings overreaction time. If the season ended no, let me not. Yeah, I mean, look. Cleveland 2-1, Bucks 2-1, same record. Detroit 2-1. Boston winless. Wouldn't that suck if the Boston Celtics suck this year and get the number 1 pick and then have Tatum coming back next year? I thought about that.
I could see something like that playing out.
Right? I was like, whatever. Nets, I don't even know why they're a franchise, honestly. Sorry,
Bulls on top.
Look at that. Bulls. We play them this Friday, Halloween. And we suck against the Bulls in Chicago for some reason. Like,
it's crazy.
Look, guys, there's gonna be pain in the ass teams, and hopefully we can get Mitch back versus the Milwaukee Bucks on Tuesday, and we can have a full squad. Hopefully we get Deuce back, but there's 3 games. 3 winless teams in the Eastern Conference. Boston, Indiana is 0-3, and the Nets 0-3. And look, 15, 20, 25 games, you're not going to see anything to that you can judge off the bat. So, yeah, right, Chris?
Yep, definitely still too early. But look, you're going to have games like tonight. And you're going to have a lot of games, hopefully, like we saw the first 2 with the Knicks, where things are just clicking.
Yeah. Hit some of these comments before we head up on the alley here. El Figgy, great call from Tony in the chat. El Figgy always dropping the knowledge as she calls in. Wait, what? Why am I seeing this injury update? No. Oh, okay. Yeah. He shot like he had a... I got kind of scared a little bit in the chat. Don't scare me. Bulls are young and good as well. Yeah, got them Friday in Chicago. Tony says no Timberlands tonight or hard hats.
Nope.
What do you think about that?
I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's pretty dope. They're
fun.
definitely not going to get them tonight.
Having
lots
fun.
I see lots of sprints.
I love it. The Knicks are having fun. They did it after the last game, and they should have fun. They're a hell of a basketball team. When they have big wins, celebrate. It's a long season, and tonight, watch a lot of film on the flight to Milwaukee.
Yep.
All right, Chris, this was fun. No Tims or hard hats tonight. But if I was going to give a hard hat out tonight, it would be to Jalen Brunson.
Yeah.
That dude is awesome.
Yeah.
He's
JB almost single-handedly.
Yeah. He's
I
awesome.
mean, he single-handedly kept the Knicks in this game. Let's just be real. Him and Mikal. I got to give a shout out to Mikal as well.
Yeah. Yeah. This Rover, what's going on, this Rover? Did I miss anyone? I hate missing people that chimed in the chat. Chris says how Yabu play all summer and come to the Knicks overweight. I don't know. Time will tell, Time will tell. All right, guys, this was fun. Chris, this was fun, man. Get him on Tuesday, right? That's it. Game 3. Oh, man, it's game 3. It's game 3,
Yeah.
Don't get too crazy.
I think this game with the Bucks too will tell us a lot about this Knicks team. How they bounce back under Coach Mike Brown. So that's going to be something to watch.
There you go. All right, guys. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Have a good start to your week. Mondays are always, Monday. So I'll see you guys on Tuesday. I'm Anthony from Knicks Nation. Everyone be safe. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.
Peace.